Sarah stood at the edge of her own wedding reception, a day that should have been filled with nothing but joy. 6 months ago, at 28, she had married the man she loved in a ceremony that reflected their values, intimate and heartfelt rather than extravagant. The fairy lights twinkled overhead, casting a warm glow across the modest venue they had chosen together. Her dress, carefully selected after months of searching, made her feel beautiful, until the moment her mother-in-law's voice cut through her happiness like glass. "I expected something a little more classy," the older woman said, loud enough for nearby guests to turn their heads. Sarah felt heat rise to her cheeks as she pretended not to hear, the sting of the words seeping into what should have been perfect memories. Throughout the evening, her father-in-law's booming voice carried across the room as he gestured broadly at their carefully planned decorations, laughing about how cheap everything looked. With each comment, Sarah felt herself shrinking, watching as glances of pity were cast her way by friends and family who had come to celebrate their love. Now, 6 months later, the wounds remained unhealed as Sarah stood in her kitchen, arms crossed defensively while her husband, Michael, stared at her in disbelief. "They're my parents," he insisted, frustration evident in his voice. "They want to stay with us for the weekend. Why are you making this so difficult?" Sarah's fingers tightened around her arms as she struggled to make him understand. "They humiliated me on our wedding day," she said, her voice quiet but firm. "Comments about my dress, the food we chose, everything we worked so hard to plan. I'm not comfortable playing hostess to people who couldn't show basic respect on the most important day of our lives." "That's just how they are," Michael replied, dismissing her feelings with a wave of his hand. "They didn't mean anything by it." The distance between them seemed to grow wider with each word, their first real test as a married couple, standing at opposite sides of their living room, neither willing to cross the divide. "I'm not saying they can't visit," Sarah clarified, her voice catching slightly. "I'm saying they should stay at a hotel. I need that boundary right now." Michael's expression hardened. "You're being hostile. You're making this harder than it needs to be." Sarah looked away, wondering if standing up for herself would always feel this lonely. "I don't think it's wrong to want respect in my own home," she whispered, more to herself than to him. The silence that followed spoke volumes about the difficult choices newlyweds must sometimes make, between family loyalty and protecting your partner's dignity. What would you do in Sarah's situation? Is she overreacting to her in-laws' behavior, or is she right to set boundaries after how they treated her? Have you ever had to navigate difficult in-law relationships in your own life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.